Hi, my name's Ruan and this is my channel, The Yorkshire Sew Girl. I hope you're all well. I'm back from my jollies, so I thought I would come to you with this video now that I'm back because I am very inappropriately wearing this dress right now, even though the weather isn't so amazing here in the UK. But anyway, the reason for that is because I'm doing a collaboration with the lovely Cara from So Mad. And yeah, we kind of decided at some point, I'm not quite sure how it came about. I think maybe I'd put something on Instagram about this pattern and she said how much she liked it, and it kind of just escalated from there. We were like, why don't we just do a bit of a collaboration? So we are doing. So yeah, myself and Cara are making up the Go With The Flow dress by Pattern Emporium. When I say we have done. So I'm going to just quickly pop a little clip in here of Cara because she's also got to say hello to you guys as well.
Hi Ruan, how are you keeping? I hope you're doing really well. Oh, I'm so excited about working on the same pattern with you. Just brilliant. One pattern, two ways. So can't wait to start on the Go With The Flow dress from Pattern Emporium. Here I am in my sewing room, ready to get started. I just wonder what style you've gone for, what fabric you've used. I have no idea, and I believe you're off to some sunnier climes. So I do hope you get a chance to make it and wear it whilst you're there. That would be very cool. And well, how lovely thing that we both get to watch the different ways of working and share our experience. So thank you very much for this. Can't wait to see yours, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Take care.
So how great is that? We're both making, or have made now, this dress, and we can see each other's, because the thing for me as well is I haven't actually seen Cara's dress yet. And she hasn't seen mine. So as soon as our vlogs go up live, I'm going to be able to see hers at the same time as kind of you guys are as well. But yes, I saw this new pattern that had come out by Pattern Emporium and I absolutely loved it the second I saw it. And yeah, I think I put something up on my Instagram and was kind of like, I must have this in my life, and do I have enough time to make it before I go on my hollybobs? And the answer to that was yes, I did have enough time to make it. So just for some information, this is the pattern here. Most beautiful version on the front here. Yeah, and it's called the Go With The Flow dress. Now, Tamlin and Rachel always take the mickey out of their names. Pattern Emporium, they're always like, they are. When I say Tamlin and Rachel, I do as well, really. Some of them are quite funny names, really. But I was only thinking about this today. It must be super hard to come up with an original name for a pattern when there's so many out there. So maybe that's why they do it. But yes, it's this beautiful, beautiful summer dress. It's woven and it's just a little bit of me, basically, this pattern. So I will read out what it says about it in the instructions. It says, the Go With The Flow dress blends comfort with effortless style, making it your go-to for warm weather dressing or layering year round. Interesting. Its relaxed A-line silhouette, also referred to as a tent silhouette, offers an easy breezy fit with the option of a mini or maxi length, or you can obviously customise it depending on which length you want. It's designed for woven fabrics. This pattern performs best in fabrics with some drapes, so rayon and linen rayon blends are ideal. You can choose between a straight or a V-neck yoke, and you can finish it with narrow or wide straps. So for some of you bigger buster ladies who like to have the thicker straps because you need a little bit of support, not like me with these things, yeah, you've got the option of doing thin straps or thick straps as well, which I thought was really, really good. And you can also have them either fixed or adjustable as well. The fixed straps feature a back loop which can be sewn in fabric or made with a small purchased ring, and the adjustable strap features a traditional slider and ring. It has pockets, so it has an inseam pocket as well. And if you do need like a full bust adjustment, there's actually a separate pattern piece with this pattern, which I thought was really good, and that has a bust dart included in it as well. So it says, for extra versatility, the centre back seam can be sewn as designed or cut on the fold to remove the seam entirely. And I suppose that might have something to do with how much fabric you're going to use as well. I actually cut mine on the fold. I cut mine, sorry, individually and sewed the two together, so there is a back seam in it. It's a very detailed pattern, so I didn't think it would make too much of a difference, and I think because of that I've ended up with some fabric left, which is always good, isn't it? And it just says basically, a simple, stylish and versatile sew, you'll be reaching for this dress again and again. So yes, you can have a straight front, a straight back, or a V front or a V back, or you can have a mixture of the two, which I liked. What I do like about Pattern Emporium patterns is that they put pictures of a lot of their testers on. So you get to see the pattern on loads of different body shapes, in loads of different fabrics, in all the different variations. And they tend to put them in their instructions. Let me see if I can find it for you. Sure, yes, so here we go. There's pages and pages, look, of different people with different lengths, body shapes, the lot, which is just fabulous, because then you can kind of, I always find it easier if I can see a model that's of a similar shape to me, and also someone who's tall, because that tends to be where I have an issue sometimes. Now, from a size perspective, it's really good. It goes from a size 4 all the way up to a 30. So a bust goes up to 52 3/4. Sorry, 54 3/4, and hips up to 58 3/4. And there's loads of ease in this pattern. So yeah, from a size inclusivity point of view, it's really, really good. Now, it tells you to use your bust measurement to choose your pattern. And that's obviously because it's an A-line. So let's talk sizes, actually. I should be on, I'll talk you through exactly what I am at the moment. So I'm 43 on the bust, 39 on the waist, 46 on the hips, because I know some of you guys really like to kind of understand the sizes, so I'll try and be as specific as I can. So I should be an 18 all over, basically, which is really good. I also tested my upper bust as well, because it tells you to do that, and I definitely fit inside the size 18 range. So let me just double check this though. I was just on the outside on the bust, on the full bust of an 18, so just about to go into a 20. My waist was actually in a 20, but my hips lay perfectly in an 18. So with the finished garment measurements, I was like, I can just do a straight 18. Bonus. Now, it said my finished garment measurement around my bust would be 45 1/4, which gave me 2 inches of ease, which I thought, oh, that's perfect. And then plenty elsewhere. For example, on my hips, the size 18 is 63 3/4, and I'm a 46 on the hip. So I knew I was going to have loads and loads of room for that, which I'm super happy about. So that's from a sizing point of view. Again, like it said, from a fabric point of view, you want something really that's flowy. You could do something more structured, I suppose. There wouldn't be any reason why you couldn't, but you would get a very A-line shape. It talks through, this is the thing about Pattern Emporium, it talks through so much detail for each pattern, which can be a pro and can be a con sometimes. I think potentially for a newbie to sewing, there's the pro side of that is that you've got everything you could possibly want in there, lots and lots of advice. The downside to that is sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. Even for me, I was a bit like, yeah, I'm done with that now. I've read enough about that now. But it is really good because it tells you all about sizing, how to check the fit, and then it also tells you about all the different fabric choices that you can have and kind of what sort of dress you can expect from that. So how the garment is going to lie, how it's going to move, etc., which I think is really good. From a supplies point of view, all you need basically is thread, and I interface this little bit just very lightly, and I have done the adjustable strap, so I have got a slider and a ring on the back of there as well. But other than that, you don't really need an awful lot as such. So shall we talk fabric? I am going to put some pictures in here, don't worry, I'll also stand up and show you, but I decided to work with this very tropical fabric that I've had for a while, sat in my stash from one of my Think Pink boxes from the lovely Beyond the Pink Door. And Andrea was really kind, and when she sent this fabric, she sent me a little bit extra because she knew I was going to absolutely love it. So I knew I had enough of fabric for this. Now, from a fabric point of view, it said that I would need 2.7 meters, and I was like, that's pretty good for such a big A-line dress that I'm going to do the long version of. I was like, that's pretty good. So I did actually measure it, and I did use 2.6 meters, so very close. And I did actually lengthen my pattern pieces by 2 inches because it's drafted for 5'5" and I am 5'9". And it said, if you're taller, just add a couple of inches on, which I did. So even though I've added a couple of inches on, I've still gone slightly under what the fabric requirements are. And I think that's maybe because I did cut it, the back in 2 pieces as well. If I'd have cut it on the fold, might not have managed to get it out of such little amount of fabric. So I've got a metre of this fabric left. So bonus. So it is a viscose sateen. Let me just bring you down a little bit. That's what we'll do. Hello. And it's this beautiful flowy tropical print. Now, excuse me because it's come out of my suitcase. I haven't had time to do anything with it yet. But yes, it's absolutely beautiful. This is it flowy around. It feels really silky and luxurious and gorgeous. So that's the fabric. I'll get up and do a little bit of a spin in a bit, shall I? So you can have a little look. So that's the fabric. And then this top bit here and the straps are made out of like a viscose twill that I got from First for Fabrics, I think, that I've had in my stash. And I wanted like a contrast band. You don't have to have a contrast band. You can have it in exactly the same fabric. It's totally up to you. And that's what I like about the pattern is you can kind of mix and match it up. But I wanted something that had a bit more structure here to hold the weight of the dress because this is a very fine fabric and I didn't want it to pull too much or anything like that. So I went with like a dark black contrast, which is kind of in the pattern as well. And I'm really glad I did that because I love the look of it. So from choices point of view, I went with the V-neck at the front and I went with the straight back, if you can see that. And I did the thin straps with the adjustable slider and ring on the back here because I tend to need to adjust straps all the time. I annoy myself. I'm wearing it at the moment with a strapless bra, but obviously if you were to make the one with the thicker straps, you could probably wear a bra with it as well, which is superb. But yeah, I'm just wearing it with an underwired strapless bra at the moment. So construction wise, it was quite difficult, I'm not gonna lie. The whole construction of it is actually not a problem whatsoever. It's really easy to do. It's just because the fabric was so delicate and because I chose the awkward position of having the V-neck at the front. So when you're cutting these pieces of fabric, when you're sewing them then together, you have to do it so that they're kind of opposites. So this V then meets a V that goes that way, and then you have to snip into it and manipulate the fabric quite a lot to try and get these sharp V corners. And that was quite difficult, not gonna lie. What it does is it tells you to stay stitch the edges, so obviously it doesn't then stretch out or have any problems like that. However, because this fabric was so delicate and it was so difficult to put the neckline together, I ended up not sewing kind of over my stay stitching, and then I had to pull it out because you could see it, but then the fabric was so delicate you could see all the holes. So now I was like, oh. So I have actually gone in a bit deeper and sewn kind of over where I was before and done it again, if that makes sense. And I think to avoid that from happening again, I wouldn't stay stitch these pieces. I would use instead some of this Form Bond bias tape. It's really, really good stuff. And it's great for when you're using quite delicate fabrics. And it is actually cut on the bias. I'm trying to get it out so I can show you it. And all you do is you basically, oh, there's a little tiny scrap piece in here, which would be good to show you. You have glue on one side and not on the other. And can you see it's got this little stitch line all the way through, and it's cut on the bias so that you can actually manipulate this round curves. And what I do instead is on the inside, instead of stay stitching, I would just apply this on the inside, not on the outside, to make sure that this doesn't stretch out. And then when you come to sew it, it wouldn't matter too much whether you got it 100% or not. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm just garbling here. But yeah, that's always a really good one as well. Yeah, bias tape form band. It's by Vlizeline. And I really like that. So that's what it kind of looks like. And I think I heard about this once when I was watching Lauren on Guthrie and Garney, and she was using it. And I've used it for camisole tops before. So I'm a bit annoyed at myself that I didn't do that on this occasion. Also quite good for pockets as well, for strengthening the size of pockets. So yeah, because the fabric was so delicate, it kind of would mark as soon as you looked at it, sort of thing. So you had to go really gentle with it. I used a Microtex needle, but there was the odd time where it snagged a tiny little bit. But anybody going to see that unless they're really up close? And in which case, They shouldn't be. So yeah, I am super pleased with it. And although it was quite difficult to handle the fabric, I think it looks lovely. Now, the instructions are very detailed. And when I say very detailed, I mean very detailed. So there's plenty of pages. It goes on and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And what it does is, and it is quite clever, is it will switch from one option to the next. So for example, if you were doing the adjustable straps or the fixed straps, it would say, if you're doing the fixed straps, don't do this bit, skip to this bit. And normally I'm pretty good at following things like that, but I found it really difficult. And I don't know whether Cara's going to say the same or not, because we'll be having a chat about it afterwards. But you know, when you're like, am I missing something here? Because I was just like, do I need to go to that bit or do I not need to go to that bit? And I think there was definitely an error in it at one point. I think I've written it down. Let's have a look. Error. Yeah, it says go to step 54 on page 36 for adjustable straps, but that bit is about the hem. So it tells you at one point, go to this bit for the adjustable straps. Then when you go to it, it says to go to whatever it is, and then you go there and it's to do with the hem, and you're like, oh, that's not the bit that it should be then. So I think there might be a little error here or there in it as well, and that confused me. And I think if you're doing a pattern where there's so many different variations, you have to make sure that that's 100% spot on. I may be incorrect though, it may just have been me and my crazy mind trying to get it done before I go on holiday, but I'd be interested to see if Cara experienced any of that as well. But yeah, there's definitely one bit, it says says to go to step 54 on page 36, which is this bit here, for the adjustable straps, but that is actually, if you see, about the hem, and the adjustable straps are on page 39, not 36. So it may just be a typo. It may literally just be one number that should be a 9 instead of a 6. I don't know. But I'm sure there was somewhere else as well where I was like, so yeah. I really like the yoke though and everything. I think it gives a really nice finish, but you can probably see I have got a lot of room in this. So from a fit point of view, I think I should have sized down. I tend to size down actually on quite a lot of patterns, but because this was so flowy, I thought, you know what, just go with it. But I definitely think I could go down to a size 16 without a doubt. But the reason I didn't go down to a size 16 is because it said the finished garment measurements on the bust, well, it says above bust is 43.25. Well, I'm 43 on my full bust. So I was a little bit like, oh, is that going to end up then being a bit too tight? Sorry, I didn't mean to grab the old breasts, but thinking about it now, I think I should have gone down to a size 16, even though I should be an 18 according to their body measurements. So let me show you what I mean. Can you see here? There is a lot of movement here, and I feel like it's draping and sticking out. Can you see? I feel like that just needs to be nipped in a little bit. And I think maybe going down one size would do that. Now, what it does though is it does say, it's quite interesting actually, it tells you how to wear the dress in regards to how it should sit correctly. And I'll see if I can find that for you, because it says if you're struggling with the fit, this is how you need to do it. You need to check your strap length, and then you need to make sure the balance between the front and the back is correct. So not wearing it up here and then really low at the back, making sure that it's correct. But what it says, I can't find it now, it's always the same when I'm talking to you guys, isn't it? Is that you should wear it so that this bit here is in line with the crease here in your arm. But if I do that, I feel like it's gaping massively here, look, and you can see my bra. Do you see what I mean? And that's actually even a bit higher. So if I was to wear that, hey up, where it says I should with the crease of my arm, I would be really showing a lot of stuff, look, you see? So I have to wear it more comfortably there, but then I'm getting this. So I think it's definitely a case of trying to size it down one. But other than that, I love it. It's got beautiful pockets in the sides here, which you can't even see, but then if you want to swoosh, it's really nice. let me just push you over here a little bit and let me move my chair, and I'll go back a bit and you can kind of see, excuse my messy desk back there. I'll go back here, look. Bye. And you can see the length as well. It's always hard on YouTube because we have to record it that way, not that way. But you can see it's a really nice length as well, and I did add 2 inches on. Now, this is where you can see though that it is definitely too big under the arms, and as a result of that I feel like these straps are too far away and that I want them to be in towards my neckline a bit closer. But it's not something that I can't get away with. Does that make sense? I wore it on holiday, didn't feel too bad about it when I was trying it on. The thing that I did struggle with quite a bit was the hem, and the reason for that is because I needed to let my dress, hi again, I needed to let my dress hang for quite a while, obviously because of the fabric and how much weight there was to it. But then my hem was doing this after I'd let it hang, and I think again that's potentially due to the fit, because if I pull this up like this, the hem becomes straight. So I think should that have been pulled in a bit, the hem would be straight. So I just eyeballed it a bit, but it does kind of go this way. And also I was in a bit of a rush, so I didn't actually hem it. I know, I'm naughty, right? What I did instead is I did a rainbow overlock. I wanted to do a rolled hem, but I just didn't have time. You know, to do all that effort. So I just did a normal one, and I thought I can always change it at a later date. So you can't really see that there, can you? Which I thought was all right. And from a distance, you certainly can't see it. And because this is multicoloured in itself, I think that you can't really see it that easily anyway, because it kind of mixes in. You know what I mean? Mixes in. So yeah, what are my thoughts overall? Love the pattern itself. I think it's very versatile. I think you could do it loads of different ways. I'd love to try the straight front one as well. Sizing wise, I would recommend to size down, but again, that's a very personal preference to everybody. Depends if you've got a larger bust, a smaller bust, all those things. So don't take that as iron. Do you know what I mean? Make sure that you consider that. And you could also baste some of this together and, you know, try it on to see whether it actually works. I was just in a bit of a rush and being a bit lazy, to be honest, you know. From making the V-neck option, you just have to go really slowly and be really, really careful with your fabric to make sure that you get these really nice tight lines. But I love the design. The instructions, very, very good in the fact that they are so detailed. There isn't a piece of information in there that you don't need. There isn't a piece that is missing. So anything that you would question, you would have to ask about this pattern is in there. For me, just a little bit too much maybe, because there's so many different options, but that's just a personal preference thing. I think for anybody else, they're probably going to absolutely love these instructions, to be honest. And they are very detailed, pictured versions, which is nice. So you do get to see what is going on. I couldn't understand for the life of me the adjustable straps, how they were doing the adjustable straps. I think that might have been me, so I ended up going and getting my saltwater slip dress out and just copying what I'd done with that. I couldn't remember. I was like, I don't know, I can't remember anymore. And my brain was frazzled. But yeah, so many different neckline options and stuff and strap options to make it how you want it to be. You could do obviously a shorter version, which is what I'd like to do. Will I make it again? Absolutely. I would love to make a shorter version. I would love to make this in like a linen viscose, so a little bit more structure, or like a viscose twill, so more kind of this weight here. So it's got a little bit more weight to it as such. But yeah, overall, I absolutely love it. But my next one, I will definitely be sizing down. So have you seen this pattern? Have you already made it up? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please do head on over to see Cara's version, because that's what I'm going to be going and doing straight away as soon as it's uploaded. I will pop a link into the description box over to Cara's channel for you, so that you can literally just click on there. And if you've come to me from Cara's channel, thank you very much. It's lovely to have you here. So that's it from me. I'm sorry if I've exhausted you, but I'm going to go now and have a little rest. And I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Take care. Bye.